What is going on, everyone? It's DC3 Johnson here with another Madden NFL 21 franchise mode video, guys. So, if you did not see the previous part, definitely urge you to check it out. We had a really nice matchup against the Seattle Seahawks, a primetime matchup on Sunday night. And so in this video, we're going to go ahead and cover our matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. Surprisingly, it's not like a nighttime game. Like for me, like whenever I see like Philadelphia games, like I always see them like at night, like late afternoon, and you kind of see like a little bit of snow start like coming down. So I'm surprised. It's an early afternoon game for us here in Philly, which actually should give us somewhat it should kind of even out the playing field because places like Philadelphia, Boston. I think a lot of the hometown has that advantage because the places are always just so cold that not a lot of teams that are used to that environment, and so especially since since the Eagle Stadium as well as the Patriot Stadium are outdoors, like that must be really interesting. So. But with that being said, we're starting our first drive here. So far, we've been doing a good job. We haven't been getting the running game as much as we would like, but on 4th and 1, we do decide to go for it. We think it's close enough for us to be able to get the first down, and we felt really confident, which ended up working out to our favor, to be quite honest here. And so this time around, we have Kyler Murray advance the ball 8 yards as we give it to King and Drake again, who's going to come up, I think, just short. I think it's going to be 3rd and inch. Yeah, 3rd and inches there. And so once again, we give it to him one more time. And so there you see Tampa Bay able to beat the Saints 27-23. And it looks like the Colts are going to face the Chargers later on tonight. And as we give it to our boy Max Williams, who has been a little quiet. Max Williams has actually been a little quiet this past year. And we finally get him involved in the red zone. Kyler Murray just 1 yard short and ended up getting tackled at the 1 to stop the touchdown. But it was going to happen no matter what. It was inevitable. We ended up giving it to King and Drake, and that pretty much wraps up our first quarter, tied 7-7. And so Kenyon able to get a nice amount of running to get us to midfield here early in the second quarter, about 30 seconds into the second here. We give it once again. It's going to be Max Williams. There you see Kyler Murray, 2,000 passing yards this season. And we're only about 6 games in, so that's actually a pretty solid average. We play a little bit with the camera. We decided to switch it to a different view. And we get Max Williams involved for his first touchdown. There you see 15 receptions for the season. So it's been, like I mentioned to you, especially for Max Williams. Max Williams, I think, ended up becoming our third weapon last year behind DeAndre and Christian. So the fact that he's been a little bit on the slow side hasn't really helped him in his case. We end up rushing it for a few yards there, getting us to the 45 with about midway through the second here. We get to the 50. We get midfield. We're going to rush it again here. We're going to run it out of bounds. Definitely don't want to get tackled here by the defense, and we got to protect Kyler Murray as much as we can. And so about 6:20 left here in the game. And so it's King and Drake is going to get us to the 26-yard line. And so 2nd and 5. So I think it's been kind of mixed. Like I've been trying to mix it up here. I've been trying to like do a little passing, do a little running, and so far so good. I think we've been doing a good job in keeping Philadelphia guessing here. And as we give it to DeAndre Hopkins, who gets us once again to the 1. So the defense has been really good. Like, they don't give up. So I give them full credit. We once again give it to King and Drake, who's going to get us into the end zone. And that pretty much takes us to halftime, 21-17 here, guys. And so we start the second half here. We end up getting the possession. And from the 26, we get a 21-yard gain to Mr. DeAndre Hopkins, who's going to get us once again close to that midfield area. And so with Kenyon able to get about 6-7 yards. Actually, yeah, 2nd and 4. And so once again here, the pass, this time to Max Williams. So far, 160 yards from Mr. Kyler Murray. Not a bad number. Not a bad number at all. And with that, on 3rd and 6, pressure's coming. We throw it out, and the defense quickly to react. So unfortunately, we're not able to take full advantage of that kind of like error on defense. And so we get to the 2 this time. And so with about 11 minutes here, 1st and goal, that's all we needed. Just one attempt, and we end up getting the ball back here on the 49 with about 8.5 left. Max Williams going to get about a 25-yard reception. That's going to get us technically into red zone territory at the 20. And we give it to Kenyon Drake, who's going to advance to 7. 20 carries for the game. That's actually normally what I like to... I don't know if you guys have heard me before, but personally I like to have my running backs only get about 20, 25 carries per game. Just because I think the more carries you give them, the more prone they are to injury. See, right now we actually just had James Daniels just get injured just because... but, you know, James Daniels is our left guard, so I'm not too worried about that. Pressure's coming. We throw it. Unfortunately, it goes directly into the Phillies' hands, and they will pick up the possession. There you see the numbers for Mr. Carson Wentz, and another replay of that. Grant Haley is going to pick up the possession there. And so with 24 seconds left, I have them right on our tails. Kyler Murray gets fumbled. No Josh Jones to save us this time. And they're going to rush it all the way in. And not much we can do to stop them there. And Mr. Cox brings it in. And just like that, guys, the Eagles have taken the lead. 38-35. Wow. Talk about a good performance, a good comeback. There you see the replay. Josh Jones, he's kind of in the background. There you see just a great tackle. They just take Kyler Murray down, and that's pretty much all she wrote there with about 10 seconds here left in the third. So getting into the fourth quarter, we do get about 10 yards. That should be 2nd and inches here, and we're going to go ahead and lob it here to Christian Kirk, who's been on the quieter side of things, 236 yards. So technically, we haven't had the greatest of games out there. That should be a passer interference call, no doubt about that. I'm not like DeAndre was completely hindered from running, and so Mr. Douglas is going to give up 35 yards on the attempt here, and so unfortunately ends up being a sack for us. The defense ends up getting us down, and we're late to throw. I tried to throw it at the end, but it was just nothing we could do at that point. And so with at the 35, there you see almost a near catch. Unfortunately, the defense just puts the pressure on, and DeAndre's unable to hold on to it. We do go for the field goal from the 35, or excuse me, from the 40. From the 40, and well, actually, I guess line of scrimmage 35, but the kicker was at the 40. And so that ends up going good. And so it's now a 1-point game here, guys, with about 8 minutes left. Definitely it's crunch time for us. We need to get, this is like a must-score possession for us. And DeAndre Hopkins just got the catch there. Fortunately, a sack for us. It ends up putting us a little bit on the slow side. I think that should be another passer interference on DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah, okay, perfect. And Mr. Douglas, for the second time this game, gets the passer interference call in the fourth. We end up getting it to the 2-yard line because of that penalty, and we give it to Kenyon Drake. And so it looks like Arizona was good on getting a 2-point conversion. Unfortunately, that was not my idea. But it ends up giving us a full touchdown lead over the Eagles. And so it's 46-39. Right now we just got to burn a little clock, but we definitely got to score. So I'm going to go ahead and mix it up by doing maybe like 1 run, 2 passes, depending if we need to, just to kind of keep people guessing here. No matters, though. No matters. We end up giving it to Kenyon Drake, who is going to get the touchdown pass for us, guys. And so just like that, remember, it's crunch time. It was a 14-point lead. It is now a 7-point lead. So definitely let's get the popcorn, guys. The main goal for us is to get first downs. Already Philly has burned 2 of their timeouts. This should be the last one right here. And so with that being said, 1:45 left. It's going to be 3rd and 5, I want to say. And so here we go, guys, for first down. Ooh, perfect. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much all she wrote here, guys. And so all we have to do is make sure we don't fumble. I'm knocking on wood as we speak, just to make sure, because and it ended up going good for us. We ended up just kind of continuing to push forward and see if we could get some extra yards. It ends up being a W for us here, guys. I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end to watch everything. There you see the stats. Philly actually outpassed us, 339 to 286. So definitely a close game. Carson Wentz a little disappointed, which I completely understand. Anyway, guys, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That way you stay tuned for the next one here. And check out my other content. Take care, guys. Stay safe out there.